Hello and welcome to the Women's Football Chat Live, and it's the semi-final time of the Subway Women's League Cup and two cracking last four matches coming our way this evening. Starting with a game I'm focusing on though sees four-time winners Manchester City taking on the holders Chelsea in what was a repeat of last year's final, which did see Chelsea run out 2-1 winners. It's a City looking for their first final under Andre Jeglertz, while Chelsea will be hoping to make it 7 League Cup finals on the bounce. Ridiculous record for the Blues. They're going to take some beating tonight, but City, leading the WSL, will be hoping to take the game to them. I think it's going to be a cracking football match. I think there's a lot of anticipation around this one with Man City, Chelsea. We saw them face each other in match week 1, haven't seen them battle each other since then, and a lot has changed, especially for the Blues, have been very up and down, especially at the end of 2025. City have kind of steamrolled their way to 6 points clear at the top of the table, but knockout football, a place in the Subway Women's League Cup final on the line. These games have that extra bit of something about them, so I think it will be a very close game. Will we need the extra time penalties required tonight? If it is level after 90 minutes, will be interesting to see. Of course, the other semi-final in North London sees European champions Arsenal taking on Manchester United. It's the 4 best teams in the country, all battling it out for a place in the Subway Women's League Cup final. It's going to be a very good one. Let's have a look at chat then. First, welcoming you all in here. Nigel, not hiding who he's supporting this evening, with lots of City chants coming in. Lloyd, welcome as well. H as well is also in the chat. Great to see you all tuning in. If you are getting involved, get an early vote in the poll in chat. Have your say of who you think is going to win this victory, and close to the kickoff we'll get into some predictions. Let's have a look though at the lineups, and we'll start with the hosts, and it's pretty much as expected for Manchester City. Ayaki Yamashita in net, a back 4 of Kasparite, Rose, Knack and Greenwood. In the pivot, it's the same pivot we've seen all season of Yui Hasegawa and Laura Blinkilder. Across the 3 then behind the striker, it's Hemp on the left-hand side, Grace Clinton on the right-hand side and Miedemar in the 10, with, of course, Khadija Shaw leading the line. Very strong 11 for Manchester City, the side that we have been accustomed to seeing so far this season. I think the only one we'll query is Grace Clinton on the right-hand side, but with players still coming back from injury, it's a role that we know Clinton can do, so it'll be interesting to see how she does fare tonight. City, though, will be disappointed. I think there was a bit of a discussion that we could potentially see Sam Coffey on the bench tonight alongside Mary Fowler, but neither of them are named amongst the substitutes. A couple of youngsters, though, do feature on the bench for City. I doubt they'll be in a comfortable position, but if they are, maybe we'll see them get on the pitch. But City is a good 11. It's the same sort of 11 that we have seen romp the league this season so far, and they'll be hoping that it is enough to beat Chelsea this evening. Speaking of Chelsea, let's have a look at the visitors then, and a little bit more of a surprise here from Bonpastor, with 4 changes being made from the 11 last time out. Hannah Hampton is back in net for the Blues. It's a back 3 of Naomi Girma, Millie Bright and Lucy Bronze. Across the 5 then we've got Baltimore at left wing back, Carpenter at right wing back, and then it's to be a midfield 3 of Nuskin and Cuthbert in the pivot, with Vika Kapdine playing further up, and then a front 2 for the Blues of Alyssa Thompson and Sam Kerr. Of course, a quality side for Chelsea. Couple of very big talking points there for the Blues. Chokanuskan coming in, no Kira Walsh once again. It's going to be interesting to see how that pivot does function with Nuskin and Cuthbert. We know the quality that Kira Walsh has, and I think in these kind of games, Kira Walsh is usually one of the best players on the pitch. So no Walsh for Chelsea tonight. I think that definitely is Bonpastor having an eye on that huge London derby clash on Saturday against Arsenal. So that's an interesting selection. A front 2 of Thompson and Kerr, I think it makes a lot of sense. Alyssa Thompson is in brilliant form right now, looks unstoppable. Sam Kerr is going to offer you a bit of presence and a bit of fight in that front line up against what is a very physical City centre-half partnership. Rose has adapted to the league really well, and we know how strong Rebecca Knack is and how good she is in the air. So having Sam Kerr up there should give the Blues a bit of fight, aerially, and if they can go a bit more direct or look to get crosses into the box, Sam Kerr might have half a chance of heading the ball in the back of the net. But Chelsea going for the 3-back this evening. It's the system that we have seen in these bigger games, and it'll be interesting to see how it does play out in this fixture. Have City learned anything from that game in the opening match week? Can Jeglertz adapt and look to take the game to Bonpastor? Will be very interesting to see what Andre Jeglertz can do here. I think that, as I said earlier, the fact that we haven't seen these two sides face each other since the opening match week, there's a lot of unknowns going into this one. Of course, we know the quality of Manchester City, we know the quality of Chelsea, but I think it's now been a few months since we saw them face each other off, and that was Chelsea learning a new system under Bonpastor, and that was Jeglertz' first game in the WSL. So I think that fixture was always going to be a bit of a... We knew Chelsea were going to win because of City's... Jeglertz might have been able to spring a surprise, but realistically, we knew that Chelsea had the advantage in that game. But now, I think it's one of those where... With how good City have been under Andre Jeglertz, it's going to be very interesting tonight. He's had half a season. They look ridiculously strong in the league right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how that does play out. But I think Chelsea have got to be careful that Jeglertz and City, because if Jeglertz and City get it right tonight, as we've seen in the league, they are very, very hard to beat. But Bonpastor, Chelsea, they've got the quality. I think they've looked much better with this three-back formation and the two strikers leading the line. It worked brilliantly in the FA Cup, looked really good against West Ham as well. Can that translate into this bigger game against Manchester City and look to cause a problem? It will be interesting to see. Of course, it will not be easy for Chelsea this evening, but... they've got the quality, they've got the pedigree as well, and they're a side that have been in this situation time and time again. So it will be interesting to see if City can kind of ruffle the feathers. In these kind of games, experience and pressure does count. And of course, City have got a lot of players that have been here before, but I think that Chelsea have that winning mentality about them, and whether that will translate today or whether City can disrupt that, that's going to be the big question. Nigel saying Coffey's been out of season since November, has only played some friendlies with USA. That is a very good point. Of course, it's going to take her time to get up to speed and to get her fitness back. City, with the way they're playing, with how good they've been, they need Sam Coffey to be at 110% before they can introduce her. They don't want to bring her in at half sharpness and then she ends up... costing them or not getting into the game as quickly as they need it to be. So for anyone asking why Sam Coffey isn't even on the bench, I think it will purely be due to those fitness issues. It will take her time to get up to speed. But yeah, Nigel, as you say as well, Fowler's recovering from an ACL. Of course she is. I think there was a bit of a... It's one of those with Fowler. I think Jeglertz, she's not too far away, but again, you're not going to throw her. You wouldn't even put her on the bench for this kind of game. You don't want to be bringing her in. She needs to be 110%, ready to go at Chelsea. City will look at kind of fixtures like London City this weekend. I think that'd be a great opportunity to introduce Sam Coffey, even if it is off the bench. Understandably, though, Jeglertz full strength squad tonight, looking to reach the League Cup final, which I think would be very good for City. They're enjoying a great season, but for Jeglertz to get that first final under his belt, it's another opportunity for silverware. And for Man City, they've got to put themselves in a situation where they can just where they can just, they've got as many opportunities to win silverware as possible. And you think if City reach two finals and are top of the league, if Jeglertz walks away with no trophies, that would be a miracle. So I think for City, they've just got to keep the good times rolling. They are in the better form right now, and they will look to take advantage of that. If they can put Chelsea under pressure early, maybe they can look to dictate the tie. Hermio Caster, welcome to the stream. Says, if Chelsea deploy Millie Bright in defence, Man City are likely to target that channel using quick combinations, dribbling and overloads to isolate her one-on-one situations. It's a very good point. I think that Millie Bright has been caught out quite a bit this season for Chelsea, but I think it does make sense from Sonia Bonpastor bringing Bright into the middle of the back three. And with Bright being in the middle, it means that she shouldn't get dragged wide too much. She's got Bronze and Germa, that can cover behind her if she does step up. So I think that Millie Bright has been caught out quite a bit for Chelsea, and that is something that City will look to exploit. Khadija Shaw will look to be assertive and to try and push her about and look to beat her in behind. But I think with the pace of Bronze and Germa to be able to cover Bright in that central position, I think it will help massively, because it does mean that even if Bright does make an error, Chelsea can get back quickly and make up for it. So I think there's a bit of protection there, having Millie Bright in the middle of the back three. You don't want her defending wide spaces. We've seen how that hasn't gone very well for her so far this season. But yeah, so I think it's a good point. Definitely something Chelsea will be wary of. But I think with her in the middle of that back three, she's less susceptible to getting caught out. But it will be interesting to see how Khadija Shaw looks to line up. I think you definitely, if you try and go strength for strength against Millie Bright, you usually end up losing. But if you've got a turn of pace, if Khadija Shaw can get in behind, then it will be, that could bring a bit of joy for Manchester City. Kyle says if City switch play from side to side fast, they may be able to exploit the pockets on the Chelsea side with them using a back five. Yeah, I think it's, again, that's going to be City's target, is that if they can catch those Chelsea wing-backs high, Baltimore and Carpenter, they can get very high at the pitch. It will then be those switches across the play. If you can get in behind the back three, into the corners where you've got Hemp running on, or you've got Clinton less so, but especially Hemp out wide, holding the width, Cashbride bombing on as well. If you can if City can catch Chelsea's wing-backs high tonight, then they could be on the money. For Chelsea, we know that City can also get caught out in fast transitions, and if that kind of front four almost for Chelsea can, take pace to that City back line, then it definitely will look to cause some issues when you've got Baltimore, Carpenter and Thompson all running at you. City have got to be careful they don't get caught out. They have got better in recent weeks, but they have just got to be careful that they don't get caught out too often. It's going to be a really good game. I don't expect it to be that nervy or that cagey. I think it's two sides that will enjoy the occasion and will understand their position they're in. They're going to come out and play their football tonight. We're not going to see either side play really... I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Chelsea could be conservative tonight, but I don't think we're going to see really defensive, nervy, edgy football, taking the safe options. I think these are two elite sides facing off against each other. I really hope they're going to look to, get the ball down, play their football, and have no regrets in this game. And it could be, this is a game that could really be played at a very fast pace. Phil Watson to the stream says they don't use Bright. Shaw will be a real problem for them in the air. Exactly. You need that strength in the back line to try and deal with Khadija Shaw. If she beats Bright, then they've got pace to recover, but you need some strength in that back line. You need some good aerial ability. Nigel saying, I'm seeing City fans try and work this out to be a 4-4-2. I just think that's suicidal. I don't think it is. I think it will just be Clinton out on the right hand side and Miedemar in the 10. I don't think Jeglertz will shift from what they've done. City would be silly to change. I think Jeglertz is very much, he can adapt in game situations, but I don't think he's the type of manager to change up pre-match. He's going to stick with what he knows and then see if they need to adapt because of that. Hey, well, wants to play, is it a double leg game? No, it is not. The result will be decided this evening. If the scores are level after 90 minutes, then the game will go to extra time. And then if it still isn't decided after that, it will go to penalties. Players are out though, and we are about to get underway at the Joey Stadium. So get your predictions in the live chat. I'm going to start with myself. I think it's going to be a really close game. I mentioned the fact we could get an extra 30 minutes and penalties if we need it, and I think we are going to need it tonight. I am going to say Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1, but Chelsea to win it in extra time. I think it will be the Blues to take the lead through Erin Cuthbert. I'll say City to equalise in the second half through Khadija Shaw to send us into extra time. But in the last 30 minutes, I will go for a Guro Wrighton penalty off the bench for Chelsea to win it in extra time. If you are tuning in, do get your a prediction in the live chat. Make sure to read it out. I think there's definitely going to be a bit of a divide on this one. 68 votes in the polling chat, 46% for Manchester City, 54% for Chelsea. So definitely seeing that. It's going to be a very split vote tonight. I think these are two sides. It's a game that really could go either way and is going to depend on which side turns up on the day. City have had a better time of it this season, but Chelsea, we know the quality, we know the mentality of that squad. They have what it takes. They know what is needed to win these kind of crunch matches. A place in the Subway Women's League Cup final on the line for one of these two sides. Arsenal or Manchester United will be waiting for the winner. That's going to be another really good game. Over in North London. But definitely keep tabs on that to see who is going through. Couple predictions. Jack's going for 2-0 Chelsea. Nigel, unsurprisingly, going for 2-1 City. Again, I can definitely see both of those happening. Expecting some close game. Alan went to the streams as 3-0 CFC. I mean, that would be quite comprehensive for Chelsea, but again, we speak about them having the quality and having that mentality. Chelsea do have the ability to dominate these kind of fixtures, but I just think with the form that City are in, they'll put up a good challenge. It's going to be a close game between these two sides tonight. I think City, no matter for how strong they've been this season, I think they'll want to get their redemption for that opening game week loss in the league over Chelsea. For Bonpastor's Blues, it's about getting more results on the board. It's been a good start to 2026. They'll want to kick on and look to build on that, and getting through to the League Cup final would be a very, very good step in the right direction after what has been a couple dodgy results towards the end of 2025, which has seen the league title look to slip away for them. It will be Man City to get us underway. It's Miedemar over the ball in the middle. Couple of late predictions coming in. Liam says, awful one to call exactly. It's going to be a close one. Miedemar knocks it back. We're underway for this Subway Women's League Cup semi-final. 90 minutes for one of these two sides to claim a place in the final. And Chelsea already looking to go direct. Bronze smashing it up the field. But Shaw has brought it down, so it will be a free kick. City there trying to go for the kick it out and concede a throw high up in the pitch. Didn't work out. Bronze pounces on it, looks to clear the ball up, gets it wrong herself, but Shaw been a little bit too late on the ball there. So Chelsea to rebuild from the back, and I think it's important these opening stages in these very close matchups to get on the ball, get on top of your opposition. This will be a game that ebbs and flows. This will be a game that will bounce between these two sides. Chelsea will have a good spell. City will then respond. It's going to be about who can take their chances and which players can make the difference. I spoke about the quality off the benches as well. If we do go deep in this game, if we do need extra time, players like Lauren James coming off the bench could really make the difference for the away side. Rose on the ball now for City. Goes backwards into Clinton. Good press from Thompson. Has got the English midfielder in all kinds of problems here. Just manages to wriggle out of it though. Pokes it through to Kasperite. Back inside to Blinkilde. Well played from Grace Clinton there. Under all kinds of pressure from Thompson, but managed to get out. Hasegawa. Lovely bit of turn, but falls straight into the path of Nusken. And Chelsea can look to come forwards here. Shocker Nusken goes left to Thompson. Thompson up against Rose. Looks to come inside, cuts it back, looking for Capdine. Good interception though from Kirstine Kasperite, who can now launch it high at the pitch, and she finds Khadija Shaw, who's one-on-one with Millie Bright. Shaw, just Millie Bright doing well to stand her up. Hemp now on the ball, and Bright's done well there, forces City back, and here's Kasperite on the ball. And they're the kind of one-on-one situations we mentioned at the start of the game. Shaw versus Bright. City, if they can get Shaw in behind, could be dangerous, but Bright has just got to use her strength and stand her up. Ball back to Kasperite now for City, who goes all the way back to Rose. Shifts it to Knack. City go from side to side. Alex Greenwood now picking it up. Back to Rebecca Knack. And again, Knack is another player you have to kind of mention in these games when it comes down to fine moments. Her aerial threat from corners could make the difference, though she's given the ball away here. And Chelsea are now back in possession. Baltimore across to Germa. Bright, not a bad ball, so well picked off by Capdine. Goes out wide to Carpenter. Really good piece of play there from Vika Capdine. Was fizzed at her by Millie Bright, but she did well to bring it down and keep Chelsea on the ball. Here is Germa. Looks to skip past Clinton. Runs into a bit of trouble here, but can use Cuthbert. So spins out and uses Ellie Carpenter right on the touchline. Greenwood forcing her backwards. Carpenter does the sensible thing and goes back to Bronze, who decides to launch it up the pitch, looking to find Sam Kerr up against Rebecca Knack. Kerr gets there, looks to spin out, tries to play it in behind to the onrushing Carpenter, but that is blocked out for a throw by the German centre-half. So already we're seeing this game becoming very direct. Both sides enjoying a bit of possession, but sensing an opportunity to try and get in behind their opponent's defence. And I think this game, with the front lines they've named and with the back lines that we've seen a bit of leakiness from both sides, could be something to watch out for. Both sides have looked a little bit weak in transition, so that directness, getting that ball over the top, could definitely be a source of goal for one, if not both, of these sides. Baltimore with a throw-in for Chelsea. Decides to go into Bright, who's under a bit of pressure from Shaw. Does well, though, to get it back to Germa, who can use Hannah Hampton, and I'm sure Chelsea will be very happy to have her back in between the sticks tonight. Olivia Payne did a decent job, but Hannah Hampton, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You want her back in the match you want her back in the goal for these kind of matches, and especially when we look towards that Arsenal game on Saturday for Chelsea. Two massive games in the space of a couple of days for the Blues. This semi-final and then back at home against Arsenal. 2 games that could really define Chelsea's season. If they lose them both, they're out of the League Cup, and they could be 9 points off the Citizens. If they win both, they'll be in the League Cup final and could close that gap up at the top. Here's Rose on the ball. Uses Clinton, who's tucked inside. Dispossessed by Germa. Falls, though, to Blinkilde-Brown, who can use Rose. He goes back to Ayaki Yamashita, who a lot of people have been talking about because of her new haircut. It's certainly something different. Greenwood looks to go in behind, looking for the runner Shaw. Bright does want to hold her off, though, and that ball runs straight back through to Hannah Hampton. First 5 minutes, though, both sides looking pretty comfortable. Again, as I say that, though, Chelsea are messing around a little bit at the back here, but Bronze will look to find that long ball out. Picked off by Miedema, cut out by Carpenter, and Chelsea can now look to move quickly up the pitch. Erin Cuthbert, lovely knockout wide into the path of Baltimore. Baltimore can travel. Plenty of green grass in front of her. Now bumps into Kasparai. Baltimore looks to go to the outside. Good defending from the City right back. Baltimore has a go. First shot of the evening. It does take a nick off Kasparai, and that will go out for a Chelsea corner. Quite wayward of the target, but apparently there was a touch in there from the City defender. I'm not sure about this one from Baltimore, to be honest. Very wide of the goal, but it did flick up off the boot of Kirsten Kasparai, and Chelsea now have an opportunity to get this into the 18-yard box. Again, City quite good for defending these aerial situations when you've got Khadija Shaw and Rebecca Knack, Alex Greenwood all in there, Viviana Miedema. It makes you a threat from offensive set pieces, but it also makes you good at defending them. Chelsea have gone short edge of the box here. Baltimore will take fly. Another big block this time by Rebecca Knack, and it's out for another Chelsea corner. Don't mind that from Chelsea at all. Trying a routine. Baltimore getting a shot away, but well charged down by the City defenders. Alex welcome to the stream. Says, I can't see City lose, to be fair. It does feel like the form they're in, especially in the league, they are going to be a tough side to beat. Cuthbert whips it in, headed away by Chelsea. Brightless to keep it alive. Can only knock it into the path of Clinton, though. Looks to go down the line, but that goes out of play. But yeah, City have looked unbeatable this season since Chelsea took them on in the opening match week. They've looked very, very strong in the league, on a brilliant run of form in both the League Cup and the FA Cup as well. It's going to take a very good performance from Chelsea tonight if they do want to beat the Citizens and make it to the final. Here is Baltimore. Goes inside to Cuthbert, back to Germa. Rising up the scenes up the Chelsea. Again, I think there'll be a lot of Chelsea supporters who will be looking more positively on the season. Good start to 2026. These are the kind I spoke a moment ago about how big this week is for Chelsea. These are the kind of games that Chelsea fans are used to seeing their side winning. Germa looking to go direct into Thompson here. Rose does well, though, to get there first and can knock it back to Yamashita, who will happily clear her lines up the pitch. Cuthbert brings it down. Only challenged by her own teammates to that one. Shokanuskin getting in her way, but Chelsea make it work. Baltimore down the line into Vika Kaptein. Good defending, though, from Grace Clinton, who gets back in and turns the ball over. Clinton does well there. Kasparai gets caught high at the pitch. Clinton drops in and makes the interception. City go long. Shaw looks to hold it up, but headed out of play by Naomi Germa. Not a bad start to this game at all from Chelsea. They're getting the ball down. Got a similar feel to what we saw in that opening match of the season at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea are getting themselves on the ball, looking pretty sharp, but both sides have started well. It's not cagey, it's not nervy. It's been very direct, which I think it does slow the game down a little bit, because it's very much going direct and then getting turned over at the moment. But as I said, all it's got to take, if one of those balls is on the money, then it could end up being very successful for one of these two sides. Chelsea look to go long, blocked out of play and out for a throw. Baltimore over it now. Goes back to Germa. Into Hampton. I don't think Chelsea will mind this at all. Getting themselves on the ball. That ball from Hampton, though, going straight through the whole pitch and right back up to Ayaki Yamashita in the other end. Here is Knack. Looks to go out to Greenwood. That's overhit, though. And that will go out for a Chelsea throw. And City just, I think they're getting used to watching Chelsea have a lot of possession, but haven't really managed to get a foot on the ball themselves. As I said, they've gone quite direct tonight. And at the moment, Millie Bright is winning that challenge against Khadija Shaw. But if they can get Shaw away, then Chelsea could be in a bit of trouble. It is the host now on the ball, though, as Rose goes across to Knack, out wide to Greenwood. Greenwood looks to go down the line into the path of Khadija Shaw, and this is what I mentioned. It's Shaw up against Bright. Millie Bright, can she keep her down? Shaw looks to twist, looks to turn. Bright does enough, and Germa can snatch it clear for a corner, but really good from Khadija Shaw, looking to twist in and out. Millie Bright, though, doing just enough to prevent the Jamaican forward from getting a shot away on goal. Looks to come in on her right foot, tried to cut back onto her left, but Bright reads it well and makes the tackle. But that's the kind of threat that Khadija Shaw will carry tonight. And if Millie Bright gets beaten there, then you've expected Shaw to unleash a very good shot on goal. Manchester City corner, though. Yui Hasegawa over it in the far corner. It's not a bad ball in. Spoke about the aerial threats earlier. It's flicked on by a Chelsea head. Think it was Sam Kerr in there who gets it clear and out for a throw in on the near side. Again, City with the quality they've got, with the quality they've got from set pieces, they would expect it to a better delivery there and look to get one of their aerial presences on the ball. Here is Alyssa Thompson bursting down the left-hand side, but I think that ball did run out of play, I was going to say. Thompson had definitely carried that one off, and the linesman on the near side does realise that. Kerr looked to poke it down the line. Did it run off? Yeah, just about. Looked to the naked eye, it looks off. Good decision there. City back on the ball from the throw-in. Kasparai goes back to Rose. Yamashita then clears it up the pitch into the path of Erin Cuthbert. Hasegawa now scrapping away. It's bouncing around. Neither side can really get a foot on it. It's Bronze, though, with the assertive challenge and gets it out wide to Baltimore. Baltimore into Nusken. Looks to go back to the French fullback, but intercepted. Falls nicely, though, for Nusken, who can return it to Germa. Germa carries it forward well. Picks out Thompson in the pocket. Alyssa Thompson now for Chelsea. Forced into the corner. Goes back to Baltimore. Baltimore can beat Clinton with a good turn of pace. Well recovered, though, by the City midfielder. Baltimore still on the ball, but being hounded in this corner. Can she try and get something out of it? Does well to win a corner. Good work from Sondi Baltimore. Got boxed into the corner there. And does well to just kick it into Grace Clinton. And win a third corner of the game for the Blues. And again, the Chelsea train will line up on the penalty spot and try and make a bit more use of this corner. The first two went to waste. Not bad deliveries, but no one could punish. Can Chelsea make this one count? Cuthbert with the ball in. Not a bad one. Getting into a good area. Headed away by Shaw. Out the other side for another Chelsea corner. Really good delivery there from Erin Cuthbert. Right on the money towards the far post. But no one in a Chelsea shirt there to meet it. Once again, a mix of dark blue and light blue shirts lining the 6-yard box. Chelsea now look to come out and run back in again. Ball to come in from Baltimore on the far side. Not a bad ball towards the front post. Headed away by Manchester City. Swing and a miss, though, from Blinkilder, and it falls back out to Baltimore, who picks out Bronze, who can fire it across the box. Blocked again, this time by Viviana Miedema. And Chelsea with another corner, really looking to put the hosts under a bit of pressure here. And this is a good spell from Chelsea, keeping this pressure onto the City penalty area. Good, consistent pressure from the Blues. Baltimore corner once again. Headed away, though, by Knack. Only as far as Thompson, who can deliver it back into the penalty area. Falls to Cuthbert, who hits it on the volley. That is over the bar, though, from the Scottish midfielder. Not a bad effort, but didn't catch it as nicely as she wanted to. And again, Chelsea, it's a good period of pressure. And yes, it's a bit of a speculative effort from Cuthbert, but it's another shot towards the City goal. This time, though, a little bit too high. Was dipping towards the end, but not enough to trouble Yamashita, and City will have the goal kick. Last 5 minutes, though, Chelsea starting to grow into this game. City just having to weather a bit of a storm there. 3 corners in a row. Did well, though, to come away without conceding. Playing out from the goal kick. Going long, City, and conceding possession once again. Millie Bright now on the ball for Chelsea. Germer goes back to Hannah Hampton, who will just put her studs on the ball and take her time. Shaw puts her under pressure, and now Hampton will look to go out to the right-hand side, but that one is overhit. Goes over the head of Ellie Carpenter and out for a Manchester City throw. Andre Jeglertz, I think he'll be content with what he has seen so far, but he'll definitely understand that his side are under a little bit of pressure at the moment. But I think he would have expected that. Chelsea turning up here weren't going to be an easy game whatsoever. Would have liked to get on the ball. And Chelsea just about managing to hold on to it here. Millie Bright with a bit of a hospital pass towards Lucy Bronze, but the Blues make it work. And Germer can now get it out to Baltimore, who goes up the line into Thompson. Thompson up against Rose. Brilliant challenge from Rose, who can now give it to Clinton. Plays a 1-2 with Khadija Shaw. Miedemar on the ball now. Greenwood arriving. Looks to deliver it. Blocked by Carpenter. Miedemar can recycle. Hasegawa into Greenwood. Back to Yui Hasegawa. Uses her captain once more and picks out Hemp. Hemp nearly loses it, but does well to poke it towards a teammate. Ball back in from Greenwood. Shaw can bring it down. Challenged though by Millie Bright. Hooked away only as far as Miedemar. Looked to be a handball there. Doesn't matter though. The shot is flicked up into the air, and Hampton will just watch that hit the floor and pick it up. Better from City though. Moving the ball a little bit quicker and catching Chelsea out in those wide areas. Blues though now on the ball. Germer to Baltimore. Baltimore goes direct into Thompson, who looks to spin Rose. Really good strength though from the American winger. Gives it to Nusken. Looks to poke it through the Kurt. Cut out well by Greenwood. And again, that last minute or two, we're just seeing that end-to-end nature where City up the other end, having possession, get the ball in, can't quite clear it, and then a minute later, Chelsea are up the other end and trying to come at the WSL leaders. And that could really be the story of tonight. If who can take their chances in those kind of situations. Chelsea on the ball now. Bronze looks to go over the top into the run of Capdine. Couldn't quite bring it down though. Cleared away by Rose. Ball falls now to Carpenter. Cuthbert. Now Germer. Germer out wide into Baltimore. Baltimore picks out Nusken. He's made a good run. Nusken across the box. It's not a bad ball. And Vika Capdine just missed it. Falls to Cuthbert. Big block though by Viviana Miedemar. Best chance of the game for Chelsea. Vika Capdine couldn't quite meet the ball from Nusken. And now City looking to come at the other end. Millie Bright's been caught out. Shaw's through here. Hampton's missed it. Khadija Shaw should score into the empty net. Pokes it through, but pokes it wide. And a moment of madness in this semi-final. Starts with Chelsea up the other end. Capdine misses the ball from a Nusken ball in and can't convert. City go up the other end in behind. Millie Bright gets caught out, falls to Khadija Shaw, who manages to get past Hampton, who came running out and missed it. Germer does enough to get in and put Shaw off. And the Jamaican striker pokes it wide. But a moment of madness in this semi-final. How has neither side scored from that one? Huge chance for Khadija Shaw. Hampton made a right mess of that. Millie Bright missed it initially. Germer did well to get back in and put Shaw off, but Khadija Shaw really should have done better. Chelsea go long from the goal kick and get dispossessed, and the City are back on the ball. Clinton flicks it towards Shaw. Big header though from Millie Bright to take it away from the City striker. Hasegawa keeps it alive. Clinton has a go, but that is dragged well wide of the mark. And we'll give a little bit of respite for Chelsea. The Blues were in control for the first 15 minutes, but the last 5 minutes have been a bit of a frenzy, and City are looking to get themselves a goal ahead in this game. Khadija Shaw really should have scored. Chelsea goal kick. Hampton goes to Germer. Nusken looks to go out wide to Baltimore, but gets it wrong. And Chelsea under a bit of pressure here and really feeling it. Another misplaced pass. Kasperai with the throw. Blinkilder. Dispossessed by Cuthbert. Now Thompson can look to drive, although she's just driven into trouble and lost it. And the ball now falls to Miedemar, but there was a late challenge in there by Vika Kaptein on Lauren Hemp. Didn't quite see it because the ball had gone. And it is going to be a Man City free kick. Not sure what happened there. Hemp managed to knock the ball down to Miedemar, and I think just as the ball went, Kaptein just knocked into it. Would like to get a replay of that one. Hemp down though. And will receive some treatment. City with a free kick. Here we go then. So just as the ball went across, it was Bronze with a very high foot. And understandably, Lucy Bronze has gone into the book for that one. Hemp plays the ball. Knocks it on to Miedemar. Just as the ball went, Lucy Bronze with a very high foot is shown a yellow card. And I tell you what, that is not a good. It's not a good challenge at all from Lucy Bronze. That is a very high foot and very wayward. Yellow card is the right decision, definitely, but it's not a nice one. Hemp just feeling the studs to the shoulder any higher, and it's absolutely a red card. I mean, it's not a good one. It's a strong yellow for Lucy Bronze, I'll tell you that much. And I think that just shows the kind of pressure that Chelsea are feeling at the moment. They've been under the pressure the last few moments there, and Lucy Bronze has just stepped up, got it completely wrong, committed a foul. And, you know, and not a good foul at that, and hopefully Hemp is all right to continue. Yeah, very high up on the shoulder. But City will feel like they should be leading in this game. If you are just joining us, Khadija Short had a gilt-edge opportunity to give the host the lead. Millie Bright misjudging the flight of the ball. Hampton coming running out and getting it all wrong. Left an empty net for Short, who, yes, she was under pressure for Naomi Germer, but managed to poke it wide, slipped over in the process, and the shot went wayward. Really should have found the back of the net. And that should have been 1-0 Manchester City. Free kick then for City. Alex Greenwood over it. Is she going to go straight for goal, or will she look to dink it in here to one of her teammates? It's one of those where some would view it as a shooting opportunity, some would look at it as a crossing chance. Greenwood here is going to go for goal. It's well hit, but straight into the arms of Hannah Hampton and well claimed by the English shot stopper. Not a bad strike from Greenwood, but a bit too central, and Hampton claims it well. Another misplaced pass though from Chelsea. This time Germer picks out Kasperai. Rose across to Rebecca Neck. Greenwood to Neck. Back into the City captain, who goes down the line looking for Khadija Short. Lucy Bronze will get there first and is brought down by the City striker, but the referee says play on. Carpenter though gets back in and manages to get it clear. Chelsea feeling it though in the last few minutes. Here's Lauren Hemp running at Carpenter, gets the ball in away by Millie Bright. Kaptein gives it to Bronze, who goes long into Kurt, who looks to spin Rebecca Knack. But Knack reads it well, goes back to her goalkeeper. Yamashita under a bit of pressure here from Thompson, but does very well to play out. Rose back to Yamashita. Phil says, watching Arsenal Man United in a semi-final for a rain-soaked camera shouldn't be a thing. If that doesn't sum up the Duracell coverage, I don't know what does. I bet it's one of those games where every couple of minutes the camera person gets a cloth out and just wipes the lens. But yeah, no goals so far in either of the semi-finals. Kind of what you expect. You've got the four best teams in the country facing off. Going to be very close and very evenly matched games. But neither side taking the ascendancy. Ball through the Kerr here, but the flag does go up. But yeah, Arsenal, Manchester United, still 0-0 in that one. Looks like a pretty even start as well between those two sides. Looking at the stats here, 3 shots for City to Chelsea's 4, but the one big chance did fall to the citizens, and that was for Khadija Shaw. A massive opportunity to give her side the lead in this one. Will City come to rue that missed chance from a few moments ago? We'll have to wait and see. Greenwood looks to go up the line, blocked well by Captain. Chelsea need a reaction here. Chelsea really need to get into this game. I say that, yeah, that's a bit harsh, maybe, because they played well for the first 10-15 minutes, but City have really grown into this one. And I said in the pre-match that this would be a game that ebbs and flows, and that there will be, both sides will have good passages, both sides will have opportunities to score. It's just about who takes them. City looking to come forwards once more here. Kasperai down the line into Clinton. Clinton into Kasperai. Here's Blinkilder. Goes back to Rose. First is Arsenal on top, but no final passes. Smith can find a pass, should be so good. That doesn't sound like Arsenal, Phil. Yeah, Smith still very much a good talent. Kasperai here goes for the cross, but wayward and out for a goal kick. But yeah, Smith, very tidy player, but you still sense he's a little bit raw. Definitely something should adjust to. But yeah, it does seem Arsenal want to get through. Arsenal and the League Cup have a brilliant synergy, and I think they'd love to win it once again. Alex asked, when will we see Sam C in Sky Blue, referring to Sam Coffey? We spoke about this earlier. It's one of those with Sam Coffey where, because the NWSL finished in November, it's been a couple of months since she was consistently playing. The only games that she has featured in are friendlies with the USA. So Jeglertz will be keen to make sure that she is at 110%, fully match sharp and ready to go. And I don't think they'd look to throw her into this game. For me, I think we'll definitely see her on Sunday against London City Lionesses. It's a weaker opportunity. Weaker side, a good opportunity to get some minutes in her legs. I don't think she'll start, but I definitely think we could see Sam Coffey come off the bench against London City on Sunday if Jeglertz deems her to be ready. Mistake from Khadija Shaw here. Chelsea turned the ball over, but Hasegawa wins it back, as she always does. Picks out Viviana Miedemar. Miedemar finds Hemp out on the touchline. Hemp to Greenwood. But yes, the Arsenal game, for everyone asking, I believe I think it's on Sky and the BBC if you're on the UK. Hemp looking to go direct at Carpenter. Good drive from Hemp, puts the ball across the box, picks out Kasperai on the other side of the pitch. Kasperai into Clinton, who is shuffled back by Nusken. Good defending from the Chelsea midfielder and puts it out for a throw. Again, good move from City. Looking quite lively. Chelsea are a little bit deeper than they'd like to be at the moment and having to absorb a bit of pressure. Here's Blinkilder into Hasegawa. Looking to find the ball through to Clinton. Doesn't come off, and Germa does well to kick it into the on-rushing attacker and win a Chelsea goal kick. 28 minutes played, though. Just over halfway through the first 45 minutes. And a very even start to this semi-final. Neither side really threatening. Big chance for Khadija Shaw 10 minutes ago. But that is all we've really seen for goal malfaction. Germa into Captain, who looks to find Baltimore, but it's another misplaced pass for Chelsea. Cannot get it right, playing out at the moment. And City can turn it over easily. Here's Clinton. Another really sloppy pass. This time from Vika Captain. Chelsea have got to start getting it right when they're playing out, because they're just handing possession to Man City way too easily. Here is Greenwood. Knack back to Alex Greenwood. Here is Rebecca Knack. Has space to use here and will look to go direct over the top into Hemp. Bronze does well to get there first, but it will only fall as far as Miedemar. Miedemar can use Greenwood. Greenwood looks to deliver it for City. Away by Baltimore, who will get to the second ball. Clinton does well to see it out for a throw. Again, Chelsea under a bit of pressure. Good piece of box defending there from Sondy Baltimore. But City, it just feels if City can get one of these deliveries right, they could be absolutely on the money. If they can pick out Khadija Shaw, because at the moment the deliveries are just over, but if they can get it onto Shaw's head, then Chelsea could be in a bit of trouble. Rose looks to find Blinkilder, picked off though by Capdine, but Miedemar wins it back. Blinkilder, lovely give and go with Shaw. Still Blinkilder, back to Shaw. Was she fouled there by Millie Bright? Referee says yes, I'm not sure about that one. I think Shaw just ran into it, to be honest. Lovely give and go between Blinkilder and Shaw. Shaw picks it up. Bright does dangle a leg. Probably the right decision, in fairness. Bright does stick a leg out and brings down the City striker. And another set piece in a good position for Manchester City. Just outside the area. Greenwood over it. Hasegawa also in the conversation. This is a very dangerous area. Hannah Hampton is going to have to be alert to this one. England Chelsea keeper organising her wall. Alex Greenwood, meanwhile, stepping over this one. This is a great area for Greenwood. Hasegawa over it as well, but you'd expect it to be the City captain to step up and hit it. Conversation here between the two City players. I don't even think they're sure about who's going to hit it. Miedemar is in the Chelsea wall, so whether they're going to try something crafty and use her will be interesting. But Miedemar has crept too close to the ball, and the referee is now going to have to mark out a line for the City forward, so that routine might be over. We'll try this again then, second time of asking, will it be Greenwood or Hasegawa? Whistle goes. I'm still not sure they know who it's going to be. Bit of a conversation between what Cuthbert and Miedemar are doing here, jostling before the free kick's even been taken. Greenwood will have a go with it, blocked by the Chelsea wall, falls to Hasegawa, who slices it well wide of the mark and out for a goal kick. And all that fussing around the free kick just for City to drill it straight into the wall. Greenwood here steps up, hits Millie Bright in the chest. Hasegawa looks to hit it on the volley, but that is skewed well wide of the mark. Thought they were going to try something clever, thought they had a routine in mind, and instead just slapped it past the post. Let off for Chelsea, get the free kick in a good area, and rule number one of a free kick is that you get it over the wall, and Greenwood failed to do that. Chelsea playing out again, it's Hospital from Hampton. Was blocked Bronze in the corner here, who has to poke it out the pitch, and did it go out? Yes, it did. Did think so. Probably the right decision, but again, Chelsea really struggling to play out at the moment tonight. And this system, it worked well, and the playing out worked brilliantly against West Ham, worked brilliantly against Crystal Palace, but when you're up against the press of someone like a Man City, you have to be better on the ball. Speaking of not being good on the ball, though, City have now given it away, and Carpenter is let loose down the right-hand side. Brilliant drive by the wing-back, cuts it towards the penalty area, but out by Rebecca Knack for a Chelsea corner. Again here, City sloppy in possession. Gifts it to Carpenter, who makes a really good burst down the right-hand side. Rebecca Knack, though, with a great challenge to knock it out for a corner. Chelsea then, with their fifth corner of the evening. Can they finally make one count? Can they finally make contact with one? That would be a good start. Ball in from Baltimore. Not a bad ball towards the near post. Headed out by Knack, and Hasegawa can hack it clear. And Chelsea and City will reset. Phil says, man, Ford, Smith and Marlon in the front four is a tough watch. Feel sorry for Russo tonight. That does feel like a very unproductive and inconsistent front four, which on their day could be incredibly dangerous, but if they're not on their day, could be really frustrating. And by your reaction, Phil, I would go for the fact they are being frustrating, which doesn't surprise me with Arsenal. And I'm sure United are probably sitting quite conservative and deep. Chelsea go long with the goal kick hit. Capdine into Carpenter, who is dispossessed by Greenwood and out for another throw. I'm really intrigued to see what this rain camera is that everyone's talking about on the Arsenal game. No such problems in Manchester between these two sides. Looks pretty dry. Chelsea with the long throw. Kerr does well to knock it down. Thompson back to Kerr. The shot is sliced wide. Falls to Sonny Baltimore, who cuts it back looking for Kerr, but headed wide by the Chelsea forward. Good move by the Blues. Throw-in on the right-hand side. Lovely 1-2 between Kerr and Thompson. It was a miss-hit shot from Kerr initially that fell to Baltimore, who put it back across the goal. And Sam Kerr did well to meet it, but heads well wide of the mark. Goal kick for Yamashita goes long. Chelsea pick it off, but that is just smashed up the field and out for a City throw. Greenwood moves it well into Knack, who's forced long. And again, looking for Shaw, who does win the header up against Bronze. Hemp, though, dispossessed by Bright. Nusken looks to find Germer, who does really well to get there first before Hemp, because that was another under-hit pass from Chelsea. Cuthbert now on the ball. Should have gone to the right there. Has decided to turn back and go left. Here is Germer, who goes back to Millie Bright. Bright into Baltimore. Baltimore uses Germer. Chelsea play themselves into more trouble here. That's better, though, from Baltimore down the line into Thompson. Actually got the beating of Jeglertz. Looks to get the wrong side of the centre half. Really good turn of pace, though, by Rose. And manages to beat Thompson to it and then play out to Captain. Cash Bright goes long. Shaw wins the header. Flicks it onto Lauren Hemp. Can she keep it in? Not quite. And that will be a Chelsea throw. Alex has got the dual screen games set up and my commentary. That sounds like a brilliant setup, to be fair. Watching 2 games of football mixed with listening to me, which doesn't sound as fun, but still should be all right. Closing in then on the final 10 minutes of this first 45 minutes. And neither side really looks like taking the lead. Again, it feels like it is going to be a game that comes down to fine margins and individual quality. But so far, neither side really having any clear-cut opportunities to hit the back of the net. Chelsea struggling in possession. City pressing well, but again, not doing too well with the ball either. And Germer again gives it away, picked off by Hasegawa. City press has been very fruitful this evening, and they'll be disappointed that they haven't managed to capitalise just yet. Here is Blinkilder inside to Shaw, who looks to flick it up to the Ghost that must be running down the right-hand side as that floats out for a throw-in. Again, I think Bombast will be frustrated with how often City are able to turn the ball over and then look to pick out Khadija Shaw. But the Blues are really struggling to deal with the City press at the moment. Baltimore over the throat, taking her time over this one. Here is Cuthbert. Hasegawa dispossesses her. It's getting a bit scrappy there in the midfield. Nusken does well to turn it over. And Germer can go back to Hampton, who's under a bit of pressure here from Hemp. Does well to get the ball long. And Sam Kerr brings it down superbly. And Kerr will turn and run for Chelsea. Blinkilder Brown, that is superb to turn it over, but Kasper gives it away straight or back. Cuthbert on the ball now. Germer. Just bouncing possession off the Chelsea pivot. Nusken. Into Germer. Kerr picks out Capdine. Better from Chelsea. Capdine into Thompson. Gets a bit caught in her feet, but manages to shift it out to Carpenter. Absolutely smashes it at Carpenter, who can't quite chest it down. I mean, Alyssa Thompson has absolutely belted that at Carpenter, at head height as well. It was a very difficult one for the Chelsea wing-back, who couldn't bring it down. Cuthbert picks it up nicely. Goes into Kerr. Sam Kerr for Chelsea. Back to Vika Capdine. Carpenter. on the right-hand side. Goes back inside to Capdine. Here's Bronze now. Does well to find Carpenter in the channel, who looks to run at Greenwood. Carpenter gets it in there, headed away by Viviana Miedema. And once again, it's another Chelsea cross that is met by a City player and turned away for a Chelsea corner. Chelsea really racking up these corners now. 6 for the Blues, including this one, who are yet to have a shot on target in this game. City only had one themselves. Not going to be a goal fest at the moment. Chelsea corner, better, headed away once again, this time at the front post by Knack. All of these Chelsea corners are going towards the front post, and all of them are being met by one of Knack, Miedema or Shaw. And it is just feels like Chelsea are just going to keep repeating the same thing and hoping for a different outcome. It is just not going to happen. Let's see what Baltimore can do with this one. Corner number 7 for Chelsea. Baltimore, again it's towards the near post, and again it's headed away by Manchester City. Bronze can recycle it. Here's Baltimore. Puts it in with a bit of a deflection. That's better from Capdine. She heads home. And Chelsea, with their first shot on target, take the lead here. A much better ball in from Sondi Baltimore. And Vika Capdine, who's not known for her heading ability, manages to meet this one. And the Blues, who have been under a bit of pressure in this first half, have the breakthrough. It's not been a very creative performance from Chelsea, but that was a better ball and a well-headed effort by Capdine. The corner was poor, recycled well by Bronze. Baltimore with the right foot whips it in, and Capdine, unmarked in the 6-yard box, heads it. I mean, it was harder to miss for Vika Capdine. Heads it past Yamashita, and City, who have probably been the better side in this first half, now find themselves trailing, and Chelsea, as they always do, find a way in these kind of games, and that is a big goal in this semi-final. The first goal in either semi-final, but Chelsea break the deadlock and take the lead. Vika Capdine, a very unlikely goal scorer, especially with her head. But from that kind of range, a couple of yards out, would have been difficult to miss. Alex saying Yamashita should do better there. Yeah, I have to agree. Probably should do better. And again, it's sloppy from City playing out the back, and that goes out for a corner. Complete mess up between Yamashita and Knack. And Chelsea have another corner in this game. And after City played very, very well for 20-25 minutes, as we get towards the end of this first half, it is just slipping away from them, and Chelsea, already having the lead, are looking to make it 2 goals in very quick succession to really take control of this semi-final. Baltimore over the corner. Now, I would put a lot of money on the fact that this is going to go towards the front post and be headed away by a City player. Here we go. What did Chelsea come up with? Baltimore, it's better. Yamashita manages to punch it, not convincingly, but gets it away. And Germa will let it run for a throw-in. That was better from Yamashita. It wasn't convincing, but she came out with a bit more authority and managed to get 2 good hands to it. Phil saying goalkeepers are a big weakness for City. Yeah, I have to say I think Yamashita, although her shot stopping has improved, her ability in the air and from corners and commanding a penalty area has been tested in recent weeks and has not been strong enough. The goal at Everton that I think she was very fortunate to have disallowed, and again tonight, you know, I think any ball that is 2-3 yards away from the goal line, any cross, keeper's got to claim that. And she fails to. Capdine is lurking in behind her, and it manages to head it into an empty net. Probably should have been better from Yamashita. Chelsea will not care though. And Capdine taking full advantage, and it's now the Blues who are looking to end the half strong. Another goal for Chelsea would put them in control of this semi-final. Here is Naomi Germa. Back to Hampton, who picks out Cuthbert. Under a bit of pressure here, Erin Cuthbert. and runs herself into trouble. Baltimore, though, does a sensible thing and just clatters it off Miedemar and out for a Chelsea throw. Chelsea will be keen now to just get to half-time with this lead. A very important lead in these kind of competitions. Knockout football, to take the ascendancy, to take control of the game is absolutely pivotal, and that's exactly what Chelsea have done with that goal through Vika Kaptein. Closing in on the 45th minute then. Not expecting too many additional minutes. We'll find out shortly. Here is Cuthbert on the ball then. Into Millie Bright. It is going to be 3 added. Ball from Bright. Is intercepted. Here is Clinton. Shifts it into Blinkilda Brown. Across to Miedemar. Miedemar to Hemp. Can City level up late on in this half? Hemp with a good ball in. Flies straight across the face of goal. And Clinton can keep it alive at the far post. Goes back to Kasparai, who dinks into the area. Met by the right boot of Millie Bright. And that has gone sailing towards the tunnel. City will take the throw. And it does appear to be a bit of an issue here for Viviana Miedemar. I'm not quite sure what the problem is here. Just seem to pull up off the ball. Taking a minute. Vika Kaptein is with her. But having a look back then at that Chelsea goal. Good ball in from Baltimore. And as I say, Kaptein just did well to make any contact with it. It's one of those where if you meet it with your head, it's going to hit the back of the net. And that's exactly what happened for Chelsea. And it's why they lead in this semi-final. City, though, looking to right their wrongs immediately. Kasparai goes back to Rose. And goals are starting to fly in these semi-finals. There's been a goal in the other semi-final over in North London. And it is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. The away side taking the lead there. So while one Manchester side fall behind at home, the other Manchester side are taking the lead. I'm trying to see who scored that goal. I think it is Elizabeth Turland for the Red Devils. Kasparai, though, picks out Shaw with a long ball in behind. Hampton doesn't get there. Falls to Miedemar, who should score. Hit the post. Another open goal missed by Man City. What a chance for Viviana Miedemar. Shaw gets there first from the long ball, beats Hampton to it, who's left stranded on the edge of her box. And all Viviana Miedemar has to do is put it on target to score. She's tried too hard to put it away from Lucy Bronze and strikes the foot at the post and bounces out. How is that not a leveller for City? Another massive chance. It's a complete mix-up and it's another bizarre moment for Hampton. Here's Hemp, hooks it across the goal. Not a very good ball in though. And Baltimore can just see that out and smash it clear at the far post. And that is going to be all for the first half here in Manchester. Manchester City 0, Chelsea 1 at half-time. But I think the hosts will be wondering what on earth is going on in this game. Ridiculous as to how City have not scored in this football match. 2 open goal opportunities for the hosts, but they find themselves trailing at half-time. Vika Kaptein's header for Chelsea in the 41st minute was enough to give the Blues the lead. It wasn't a perfect half from Chelsea, but they get into the break with a 1-goal lead. Now, Viviana Miedemar there, by the way, has gone straight sprinting down the tunnel. And I do wonder if there's an issue there. I noticed before the game kicked off, she was in the tunnel ready to go, and then she ran back and back into the changing rooms, came back, and then we watched there as she, just before half time, was on her haunches and clearly struggling with something. And then as soon as the half-time whistle's gone, she's gone straight down the tunnel. So I wonder if there's an issue for Miedema and missing that massive chance at the end of the half. It's got to be concerning for City. 2 open goal opportunities. Let's talk about the first one. It fell to Khadija Shaw early on in the game. Big chance for the Blues. 18 minutes. They broke away fast. Hemp played Shaw through. Millie Bright missed the ball and made a meal of it. Hannah Hampton came sprinting out and got it all wrong. Left the goal open for Shaw, who, yes, she was under pressure. Yes, she was under pressure for Naomi Girma, but an open goal. Shaw slips over and pokes it past the post. Massive opportunity. And then once again there, I don't know what Chelsea, complete mix at the back. Hampton comes sprinting out and gets it all wrong once again. And Shaw can't quite convert it. Lays it back to Miedema, who just has to put it into an empty net. And she's overthought it and hit it into the foot of the post. 2 massive chances for City that they really should have scored. And Chelsea do what Chelsea do. If you don't take your chances against City, they will punish you. And that's exactly what's happened in this game. Capdine's header in the 41st minute. Following a corner, it was another poor corner from Chelsea. Recycled well by Lucy Bronze, who got the ball back out to Baltimore. Crossed it in nicely into a good area, into the 6-yard box. Yamashita really should have probably came out and claimed it. Didn't. Fell to Capdine, who headed it into an empty net. But wow, some massive, massive opportunities. I said at the start, this game would come down to which side take their chances. City have missed massive, massive opportunities, but Chelsea, they had a big chance and they took it, and that's the difference maker at half-time. Chelsea took their big chance. City, they've had 2 big chances and missed them both. That is football. And that is why Chelsea are champions and win things. City have had a brilliant, brilliant season. But if you miss chances against one of the best teams in the world, you will be punished. A long way to go in this semi-final. It's only a 1-goal margin and there is still a whole half of football to play. But both sides have had 1 shot on target each. 2 big chances to City, 1 to Chelsea. City have missed 2 big chances. Chelsea haven't missed 1. They scored theirs. And that is cut and dry. It's been a very even 45 minutes, but that is difference maker. Clinicality is making the difference at half time. A lot of reaction going on to both games. In both semi-finals, City, Chelsea and Arsenal, Manchester United. For those who don't know, Manchester United leading by 1-0 at half time. It was an Elizabeth Turlin goal in additional time of that first 45 minutes that gives the Red Devils the lead. But you can't help but think Jeglertz and City will be frustrated with that one. Nigel saying this reeks of Chelsea squeezing out a jammy 1-0. Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, Chelsea have played well. I think, in spells, it has gone to and fro. I thought Chelsea started the better side. City obviously really grew into the game. And then that last kind of 5-10 minutes was very end-to-end. But you've got to take your chances against Chelsea. You really do. And, Khadija Shaw, probably the best striker in the world right now, goes and misses an open goal. How many days, how often does that happen? Almost never. Viviana Miedema, again, one of the best strikers in WSL history. Open goal for her, hits it into the foot of the post. City, when it comes down to it, in these massive moments, are missing big chances. And that is costly in these big games. It's really, really costly in these big games. By the sounds of it as well, for the Arsenal goal, Annika Bulba hasn't had a brilliant moment, and maybe Arsenal after the game will be on the phone to Hoffenheim to see how quickly Laura Dick can join up to the club. But yeah, it's a really difficult one for City, because as a manager, how do you address the fact that your side are playing good football, but you haven't taken chances, you've been punished for it? I think it is important to say that it did ebb and flow in that game. Chelsea started well. They got on the ball early, had a couple of good moves. The shots weren't brilliant. We saw Cuthbert smashing over the bar. Baltimore had a deflected effort go quite wide of the mark. And they weren't really testing Yamashita, but Chelsea was still in the ascendancy. Then City had that chance for Khadija Shaw, and that changed the game. Although it didn't go in, City then got on the front foot and looked a little bit better. They had Chelsea pinned back for 10 or 15 minutes, and they really should take advantage. They should have scored. They didn't. Chelsea come back at them, get the goal through Catdine just before half time. And then that last 5-10 minutes was very, very even. Could have gone either way. And Miedemar again missing a big opportunity. Nice saying I was desperate for us to take advantage when we had control of the game. Exactly. That's exactly what you got to do against Chelsea. When you're on top, you have to take advantage. And it's true for any big side, to be honest, not just for Chelsea. When you are on top against a big team, you have to make it count. Because if not, they've got the quality to come back and bite you. Antonio says only good against lower teams. I assume that is in reference to Man City. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's quite the case. Against lower teams, because City get such a high volume of chances, it doesn't usually matter how many chances you miss. For City, for example, we've seen this season, they'll have was it the Everton game or one of the games where they created 7 or 8 big chances and they missed 4 or 5 of them, but it didn't matter because they scored the others and they won the game comprehensively. But against the big sides, you won't get 6 or 7 big chances. So you have to take the ones that come along. And if you don't take them, you get punished, as I've said already. And Shadowfoot, one of the streams says, hey mate, how's the game going? I'm watching the United-Arsenal game. Very even contest. It's ebbed and flowed, but clinicality is the talk of the town at half-time, really. City missing 2 open goals. Khadija Shaw with the first opportunity. Viviana Miedemar with the second opportunity. Both of them. Hannah Hampton left stranded. Should have found the back of the net. But Shaw put hers wide. And Miedemar hit hers against the post. Chelsea had one big chance and they took it. But it's been a very even game. And in the second half, it will still be very close, and City definitely aren't out of this one. Phil says it's the difference between Chelsea and the others. They can win games without having control. Exactly that. I think that City as well. City have shifted. Jeglertz is very much a manager where he is open to transitional football. It's why we've seen City concede quite a few goals this season, because he wants to play quite transitional. But definitely Arsenal, United, even Tottenham, I'd probably say now. Not that they're an elite team just yet, but in terms of the way they play, if they don't have control of the football, they don't create chances, they don't score goals. Whereas with Chelsea, and I think with Man City a little bit, but they're still transitioning. But yeah, with Chelsea can find a way to win a game even when they're up against it. How many times have we seen Chelsea win a game when they're second best? This one's been a bit more even, but last season, even when they went invincible, Chelsea was second best in a couple of those games and managed to grind out a result. Because that's what champions do. And that is the step up I think the other side have got to take, is that can they win these kind of, especially in knockout football, when you get the chances, you have to take them. Even if you're up against it, you have to make it work for you. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Nigel said we just never seem to be clinical against Chelsea for whatever reason. Yeah, I believe that the game at Stamford Bridge in the opening match week, City were the better side at the start of that and had some good opportunities. But, some big saves from Hampton kept the game level, and then Chelsea went out the other end and put 2 goals in the back of the net. So I think it's definitely, for City, the positive will be that they are in the game. They can get on the ball and they can cause Chelsea problems. But it doesn't matter how many problems you cause them if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, especially with the quality they've got on the pitch. City have got to be more clinical in the second half. I think Chelsea will shore up. It was quite sloppy from Chelsea at points in that game. The passing, especially out the back, was really, really poor, very error-prone. And City's press is very, very good. We know that, but Chelsea will expect a higher standard of themselves on the ball. But yeah, I think it's one of those where City are going to have to take their chances. But if Chelsea up it, then it's going to be very difficult for City to work their way back into this game. But all they need is one goal, and they send it to extra time, and then once you get into extra time penalties, it's a bit of a lottery at that point. So there's still plenty to play for in the second half. But yeah, City will be frustrated that they are trailing Chelsea. Again, it's a simple case of Chelsea do deserve to be in front, but City will be more frustrated. I think that's the way to look at it, is that both sides have played decently well, but City didn't take advantage while they were on top, and Chelsea did, and that has made a difference. Nigel says, we wish we'd gotten Shaw into the challenge against Bright. Bright are very dodgy in basically at those moments. Yeah, exactly that. I mean, you look at the big chance for Shaw. Ball goes over the top. Millie Bright completely misreads it, sticks a leg up in the air, completely misses it, and Shaw's in behind. And if City can do that more often and put Bright under pressure in those one-on-one scenarios, then that could potentially be Chelsea's weakness. And Abdullah also went onto the stream saying Millie Bright is at the level playing against lower teams, but against big teams she's struggling. I think we have seen that for Chelsea this season. You look at the London derby at the Emirates, really poor from Lauren James. She really struggled. Lauren, why have I said Lauren James? Millie Bright really struggled in that game, and Arsenal put under a lot of pressure and forced a lot of turnovers. I love Millie Bright, of course, Chelsea legend. It's your captain, so you're not gonna, Chelsea are not gonna bench her for the big games, but I would be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised this is Bright's last season, or definitely her last season as a starter. I could see her, dropping to a bit more of a squad player going into next season. But it will be interesting to see what Chelsea choose to do. Ryzen says, what changes would you think about making? I think right now for either side, I probably wouldn't be turned to make any. I'll be intrigued to see whether that is an issue for Miedemar. I'm not sure what the problem is, maybe, but as I said, she was in the tunnel ready to go at the start. She ran back to the changing room and then came back. She was on her haunches towards the end of the half, and as soon as the whistle went, she sprinted back into the dressing room. So whether there's an issue there will be interesting to see. So unless there's any forced changes, I wouldn't make any subs. For Chelsea, Lauren James is the obvious one. That's why Chelsea are so dangerous in this kind of game, because Chelsea are leading this semi-final and Lauren James is just sat on the bench ready to come on if they need her. It's ridiculous, and that will be the concern for City, is that if Chelsea do bring on their subs, look stronger, and then turn this game over. Alex says Nat and Germa are better, referring to Natalie Bjorn. I do think that once Bjorn is back, we'll see her probably start. But again, with the back three, Bright is a little bit less vulnerable. So that does help Chelsea a bit. Callie says, has to be LJ for captain, please. I think that will be a change we see soon. Captain has done well. I think, yes, she's misplaced a few passes, but everybody has in a Chelsea shirt. Obviously, she got the goal as well. But yeah, I would expect to see LJ come on in that 10 role relatively soon for Chelsea. Nigel says, problem is I don't know what changes we can make, and if Viv's got a problem, that doesn't bode well. Yeah, that is still City's biggest problem, is that squad depth. You'd probably look at someone like a Murphy or a Carolyn and then shift Clinton inside, but again, that's not ideal, and that's not quite what they want to be doing. I'm sure City cannot wait for the return of Mary Fowler, of how good she was across last season. It's the kind of player that can really make a difference in the second half of the season. But 45 minutes then ahead of these two sides. As it stands, Chelsea will make it 7 League Cup finals in a row. Can Man City turn it around in this second 45 minutes and reach their first cup final under Andre Jeglertz? Let's find out then. It is Capdine over the ball in the middle for Chelsea to get this second half underway. And in the other semi-final, over in North London, can United hold on away at Arsenal, or will the Gunners turn it around in a competition that they have won many times themselves? Vika Kapdijk waiting for the referee. And it will be the Chelsea midfielder knock it back and get us underway in this second 45. Can Chelsea see this out and make it to the League Cup final once again? Ball goes back to Bronze. Carpenter looks to turn quickly. These moments now are absolutely huge in this second 45 minutes. If Chelsea get on top and get a second goal, then they will take control of this cup tie. If City can react early and equalise soon, it's going to fly this game wide open. So big 45 minutes, but these first few stages of the second half are going to be crucial. Chelsea go long into Kurt. Capdine into Carpenter. Back into Capdine, who turns well. Picks out Ellie Carpenter once again, who finds Nuskan in the channel, running against Blinkilda Brown. It's a 50-50 between the two of them, and that will go out for a for a Chelsea corner, sorry. No changes at the break, by the way. Although the WSL lineup thinks that Millie Bright is now playing left wing back with Lucy Bronze in middle midfield. If that is the case, I would be absolutely stunned. Now it says Carolyn even on the bench. Is she not? I apologise then. That does leave City. That is not very many options at all. Chelsea go to the edge of the corner. Cuthbert will take aim, blocked by Viviana Miedema, and a foul has been given, I think, on Carpenter for holding back the on-rushing players. Yeah, City bench, the only real player you'd probably turn to would be Iman Bene. But one change doesn't really make the difference in these kind of semi-finals. Especially when you're up against a side with the quality of Chelsea. Here is Greenwood. Across to Nak. Nak into Yamashita. Back into Rebecca Nak. Inside to Hasegawa. Lovely turn to beat Cuthbert, but Cuthbert digs in well. Hasegawa, though, just does enough to poke it to Blinkilder. Rose looks to go in behind Baltimore. Kasperai on rushing, but that will run through to Hannah Hampton. I have to say, Hannah Hampton, very shaky tonight. Maybe it's just rustiness because she's been out for a while, but both those big chances for City, she came rushing out of her goal, timed it completely wrong, and probably very fortunate that she didn't concede from either of them, and definitely got away with a couple there. Chelsea play out nicely. Cuthbert, lovely switch into Carpenter, who looks to head it on to Nusk and gets it slightly wrong. But the Australian wingback will get to the ball again. It's a really good turn to get past Greenwood. Darting inside now, Carpenter looks to pick out Nuskum, but that is over here. And Clinton can turn it over. Here is Blinkilder Brown. Pokes it, looking towards Yui Hasegawa, but Carpenter will get there first. Really poor from both sides out the blocks. Sloppy passes left, right and centre. And another one there from Carpenter. And Hemp picks it off before Bronze can get there. Lauren Hemp now trying to beat her international teammate. Swivels out well and knocks it wide into Alex Greenwood. Greenwood delays, looks for Hemp, but it's another misplaced pass. Neither side can string 5 passes together at the moment. Really sloppy from both teams on the pitch at the moment. Chelsea now trying to get the ball down. Can they get a bit of one of these two sides get a bit of consistency going? Here is Germer. Good drive forwards, picks out Kerr. Sam Kerr lets go back to the left-hand side, but she's dispossessed by Hasegawa, who looks to bring it forwards for City. Good drive from the Japanese midfielder. Gives it into Lauren Hemp. Hemp running at Bronze. This is good from Hemp. Cuts it back to Miedema. Good first touch. Looks to take aim with the left foot. Charged down by Millie Bright. Headed away by Capdine. Falls to Lauren Hemp, who dinks it towards Shaw. Headed away by Germer. Kasperai lets aim. Hits the post again. Greer Clinton on the follow-up. And that is skewed over the bar. But another massive chance for Manchester City. This time Kasperai rattling it against the post. Again, Chelsea don't do enough. Germer takes it away from Shaw, but heads it straight to Kasperai, who rushes in unmarked. And once again, City hit the framework. How have they not scored in this game, Manchester City? Chelsea playing out from the goal kick. Capdine. Oh, Capdine again. It's another poor pass. Really struggled Capdine under pressure tonight from City's pivot. Cuthbert again dispossessed. Chelsea are all at sea at the moment. Hemp here pokes it through to Shaw. Bronze does enough to turn it over, and Cuthbert can just get the ball up the pitch, and Chelsea can have a bit of respite. I mean, how have Manchester City not scored in this game? Incredible. Here's Shaw. Miedema looks to take aim and opts to go out wide to Kasperai. Good ball in from Kasperai. Miedema flicks it on, but that is wide of the goal. But Manchester City tonight, second time they've hit the woodwork. First Miedema, now Kasperai. It just doesn't feel like it's going to go in the goal tonight for Manchester City. Really doesn't. And again, Chelsea riding their luck in this one. Here is Miedema for City. Hasegawa goes into Lauren Hemp. Good turn Dinks it in towards Shaw, who heads it goalwards. Hampton with a good save to tip it over the bar, but the flag goes up. Good reflexes from the Chelsea goalkeeper to deal with the bouncing header. But the lineswoman on the far side has her flag up. Lovely little dink in from Hemp. Shaw does well to meet it. Not quite the connection she was looking for. But it doesn't matter because she was in an offside position. And once again, Chelsea can look to get their foot on the ball and play out. Germer. Cuthbert goes wide to Baltimore. Nusken into Germer. Germer goes up the line. Dispossessed once again though by City. Chelsea cannot get a hold on the ball at the moment. Greenwood goes back to Knack. Charles Wonders says Chelsea will win at the moment. They are in the lead, but I have to say City are looking quite likely to score an equaliser with the pressure they put Chelsea under. And Cat Lanterns also under says who scored. It was Vika Kaptein with a headed goal for Chelsea, which currently sees the Blues in the lead. But as I say, Khadija Shaw has missed an open goal. Viviana Miedemar has missed an open goal. And Kerstin Kasper has also hit the post for Manchester City. Plenty of chances for the host to take the lead. But they just cannot find a way to put the ball in the back of the net tonight. Still time to play though. 38 minutes to go in this semi-final. Plenty of time for City to find a way back into it. Chelsea will be hoping that they could just try and get a bit more control in this game. Really struggling to get a foot on the ball. Again, that City press is very effective, but for a side of Chelsea's quality, too many errors playing out the back. Some of them, yes, were forced by the press, but others are definitely unforced errors that City have been able to pounce all over, but not punish. Here is Germer on the ball for Chelsea. Goes back to Hampton. And again, the Blues are going to have another chance to try and play out. Hampton with a very direct ball into Baltimore, who looks to dart inside. Brilliant from Solly Baltimore. Gets away from two and gives it to Alyssa Thompson. Thompson on the left-hand side for Chelsea. Goes back into Baltimore, who hooks it into the area looking for Sam Kerr, but better goalkeeping from Yamashita. Assertive, comes out and claims it well. That's what she needs to do for the Kaptein goal. Quick off her mark there. Yamashita gets out early, gets up and claims it with two hands. Trying to play out now. Hasegawa nearly caught on the ball, but does well to get it out to Knack. And City are looking to build down the left-hand side. Greenwood into Hemp. Hemp left with no options, but that's a great ball into Shaw. Hampton comes out though, and this time she will get there first. But the flag is up again on Khadija Shaw, who's just struggling to time that run at the moment. I have to say, I think that one was a lot closer than the others have been. But that's important for Hannah Hampton. There's been a couple of times where she's come rushing out and got it wrong, but that time came out with pace and beat Shaw to the ball comfortably. Bronze. Kaptein. Carpenter. Blocked by Blinkilder and out for a Chelsea throw. I think Jeglertz will be encouraged by what he's seen. Yes, City have been in clinical, but the press has been good and they've caused Chelsea quite a few problems. Bronze with the throw. Carpenter can't quite hold on to it, but it will be another Chelsea throw in. Bronze back down the line into Carpenter. Good shielding from the Australian wing back. Gives it to Kaptein. Good turn of pace. Looks to deliver it. Blocked by Greenwood. Another Chelsea throw. Chelsea doing well here. Just to gain a few yards down this right-hand side. Lucy Bronze then. So Carpenter's going to look for a long throw here for Chelsea. That wasn't very long at all. And Greenwood heads it away easily. So never do that again. That did not work one bit. Chelsea do win the ball back though. City turn it over again. Another scrappy moment. That's a poor pass from Blinker to Brown. And Chelsea have another throw. And all this is doing with these throw-ins on the right-hand side is allowing Chelsea to just slow the game down and gain some territory. Toing and throwing here in the corner. Eventually Nack's had enough and will clear it long, looking for Short. Bright gets up well and wins the header. Picks out Bronze, who tries to backheel it for some reason towards Cuthbert, and it gets picked off. Here is Hemp. Blinkilder on the left for Manchester City. Hemp overlaps her. Better from City. Hemp puts the ball in, looking for Shaw. Headed on goal again, and it's wide. Grace Clinton with the header. Does really well to peel off her marker. Makes the run towards the penalty spot. And heads it wide. Great ball in from Lauren Hemp. Clinton does well to meet it. But that one wide of the mark. Hampton left stranded. Rooted, I should say. But Clinton can't quite find the target. And another chance for City goes begging. Germer, Baltimore. Down the line into Thompson, who again looks to turn Rose. But I have to say, Rose has had the better of Thompson this evening. Alyssa Thompson has really struggled to get into this game. Jade Rose has done a very, very good job at dealing with her. Capdine, that's a really poor error. Picked off by Hemp. City, massive chance. Greenwood overlaps. So Greenwood for City. Good save from Hannah Hampton. Once again, though, Chelsea caught out by the City press. Lauren Hemp does really well to pounce on the misplaced pass from Vika Capdine. Plays it into the onrushing Greenwood. The shot is a bit tame, but Hampton does well to get two palms behind it and deny the City skipper. Chelsea trying to play out here. Baltimore goes down the line, blocked by Capdine and turned over. Casperine turned over again by City. Clinton tries to flick it in behind. Cursing Casperite, but that will run out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. And again, another shot on target for City in this game. The Blues, the Citizens are really putting Chelsea under the pump, but still can't take advantage. Chelsea yet to have a shot in the second half. City have had 5. And again, one big chance in the second half missed. And that is going to see a reaction from the Blues. Lauren James receiving some tactical instructions. And she is stripped down and ready to go and be introduced in this game for Chelsea. That is going to be a much needed spark for Chelsea in that midfield. Capdine, quite a few misplaced passes today. Did well to get the goal, but hasn't been great. Lauren James may be what Chelsea need to get this result across the line. But it's City on the ball once again, and Kasparai goes direct into Shaw, who pops it into Hasegawa, who plays it through to Miedemar. Miedemar for City, knocks it past, and it's a really good touch round the corner from Hannah Hampton. Another chance for Manchester City. Miedemar one-on-one with Hannah Hampton. But the Chelsea goalkeeper gets a little nick on it to put it past for a corner. I'm not really sure what's happened there. We've cut back and everyone's in a bundle on the floor and the ball's gone out for a goal kick. So a bit of a wasted corner there by Manchester City. And that is going to allow Chelsea to make that change. And it's not going to be Vika Capdine coming off. It is going to be Sam Kerr to be replaced by Lauren James. So James going to sit. I mean, I can't imagine she's going up front with Alyssa Thompson. Especially because Thompson hasn't been in this contest and I think Kerr's offered a bit of presence up there for Chelsea. But we will see. Anyway, Lauren James into the act for the Blues. Half an hour to play here at the Joey. Can Chelsea do enough to see off this City challenge? Or will the momentum continue to swing towards the hosts, and can they find an equaliser? Carpenter up the line and Lauren James immediately involved in the action, being hounded by Knack, and she's been dispossessed, and City again can turn it over. But that is overhit by Blinkilder, trying to feed through Shaw, but instead it runs through to Hannah Hampton. Chelsea looking to rebuild again. Baltimore into Nusken. Back to Naomi Germer. Capdine does well to resist the press this time and can find and complete the pass to Baltimore. Up the line to Thompson, who has grass to use. Good drive from Melissa Thompson. Plays it into Vika Kaptein. Kaptein swings it in the area, and then again, that is claimed well by Ayaki Yamashita. Not a great ball in from Kaptein, bit too close to the goalkeeper, and Yamashita could claim that comfortably. City goalkeeper will now knock it out to Casper Wright. Across to Rose, who goes back to Yamashita. Inside now to Blinkilder, who picks out Miedemar with a great pass. And now Miedemar looks to feed through Clinton. A little bit overhit though, and Germa can see that through for a goal kick. Into the final half an hour then of both semi-finals, and it's both the away sides leading. Manchester United still one ahead against Arsenal, and of course Chelsea still leading Manchester City here. Well, City have made a change, Chelsea have made a change, and it's now going to be City to make a change. Laura Crean's coming on in a few moments' time, and Phil and Alex saying Olivia Smith has now been sent off for Arsenal, and that is a big moment in that game. Not had a good game by the sounds of it, and on a yellow card, Olivia Smith suspended. And the bigger, not only is that big for that last 30 minutes of the semi-final over there, but that will see, if Arsenal don't, I think it will, it will apply to all domestic competitions. That will see Olivia Smith suspended for the game against Chelsea on Saturday, I believe. Especially as it stands, if Arsenal do not progress, that suspension will jump into the WSL. And because it is the League Cup, it is a WSL competition. So not only is Arsenal now going to have to play the final half an hour with 10 players, but Olivia Smith will miss Saturday's trip to Chelsea. That is a costly red card for Arsenal. Change here though for Manchester City. Grace Clinton is going to be replaced by Laura Coombs as the Citizens look to get back into this semi-final. But a lot changing across both the semi-finals tonight. City making changes as they roll the dice and try and find a way back into it. And Manchester United, who were already leading against Arsenal, now have a player advantage with Olivia Smith being sent off. Could be costly from the youngster. Back underway here though at the Joey. Here is Erin Cuthbert for Chelsea. A second goal for the Blues would surely see them through. Thompson cuts it back to Lauren James, who can let fly. Big save from Yamashita. And that is the kind of impact that Lauren James can have. Brilliant football from Chelsea down the left-hand side. Lauren James afforded way too much space inside the penalty area. But Ayaka Yamashita stands tall at the near post and palms it over the bar. Good stop by the City goalkeeper to keep her side in this game. Chelsea, though, with a corner. And I now believe that the Blues are into double digits. 10th corner of the game for Chelsea. Again, dark blue shirts piling in towards that near post. Ball in from Cuthbert. No, she goes short. The referee's got in the way. Baltimore makes it work and skies it. And that is, Baltimore's rightfully frustrated there. Chelsea have cut the ball back to the edge of the area and the referee has just stood there. Brilliant player marking, by the way. But Baltimore has to run round her and then gets a shot all wrong. Really poor awareness there from the referee. Got to do better in that. Got to read the situation a lot better there. Goes out for a City goal kick and now they can build. Here is Lauren Hemp in to Laura Coombs. Coombs dispossessed by Germa, but it falls kindly to Hemp. City coming forwards now. Hemp looks to pick out Shaw, cleared away by Millie Bright. Cuthbert into Bronze, and Bronze smartly just clears her lines, picks out Lauren James, who holds it up well against Knack. Really good hold up from Lauren James, and she wins the free kick. Feels a blessing in disguise for the Chelsea game. Shaw is a player that can make things happen, but it's a frustrating one. It's just unnecessary for Arsenal. You want to go into your biggest, London derby. You want to go into it with every player available. So for Olivia Smith, the quality she possesses, for her to be suspended will be a big blow. And it now means that any chance of salvaging the semi-final tonight is weakened. Ball long into Lauren James, who flicks it around the corner. Lovely 1-2 between her and Thompson. James will swing it in. Will fall to Baltimore at the back post, who brings it down nicely. Coons gets back in well. Here's Nuskin, who dinks it in. Capdine heads it down looking for Thompson. Well dealt with by Rose. Cuthbert meets it on the edge, but Miedemar gets there first. Big block from Capdine, though, to stop the clearance. Falls to Greenwood. Very scrappy there on the edge of City's penalty area. Bright steps up and intercepts. Bronze heads it, but only as far as Blinkilda Brown, and now Hemp can get on the ball, but Lucy Bronze deals with it well and clears it out of play. Was lumped into a bit there by Lauren Hemp and is feeling the after effects of it, Lucy Bronze. A bit of a unnecessary one there from Hemp. Kai just threw herself into Bronze as the Chelsea fullback made the clearance. Here is Greenwood into Hasegawa. Back to Alex Greenwood. Here is Nak. Yamashita now. Across to Rose. Rose looking to go direct into Miedemar, headed down by Bronze. Shaw keeps it alive. Miedemar into Shaw. Shaw will let fly, blocked by Germer. Flicked away by Nuskin. Coombs. Kasparai crosses it in. Shaw's unmarked. It's over her head. Bright clears it to Hasegawa, who lets fly. What a save from Hampton. Brilliant reflexes from Hannah Hampton to tip that one over the bar. Hasegawa caught it neatly on the volley. But Chelsea's number one and England's number one with an acrobatic stop to keep Chelsea in front. It's very central from Hasegawa, but she catches it nicely with a bit of swerve on it. Hampton reads it well though and makes a big save. Man City corner. Greenwood over it, puts the ball in. Kept alive at the near post, it bounces around, but Chelsea managed to get it away. And Thompson can drive forwards on the break here for Chelsea. Supporting cast of Baltimore and James. Still Alyssa Thompson travelling. Nak getting back in, forces Thompson to turn around and go backwards into Capdine. And Chelsea will now go back and look to conserve. And City will get back into their positions. Here's Millie Bright. Takes her time on the ball. Will turn back and find Hannah Hampton. Hampton into Germer. Germer with space to drive into. Carries the ball forwards to Chelsea. Picks out Nuskin. Nuskin plays it into the path of Capdine and the ball goes under her foot. And it's another error from Vika Capdine. Did well to get the goal tonight, but in possession has really struggled, Vika Capdine. Misplaced passes in there, just lets the ball roll under her foot. City throw. Kasparai goes long with it. Germer will see that out for a Chelsea throw on. Look to smartly throw it back to Hampton, but decides to let everyone get back into position and Baltimore will take over the throw-in duties. Cuthbert into Baltimore. Plays it across to Bright. Bright now to Bronze. Bronze to Carpenter. Ball goes inside looking for Capdine, picked off by Hasegawa. But Chelsea make it work and Cuthbert with a brilliant turn looks to get the Blues up the pitch. Erin Cuthbert knocks it out wide to Baltimore, who looks to have the beating of Coombs and does really good from Sondi Baltimore. Alyssa Thompson does well to keep the move alive. Back to Nuskin. Ball now through to Baltimore. Who can she pick out? Finds Lauren James. Lauren James on her right foot has a go. Charged down by Greenwood. Probably should have looked to shift it one more there to Carpenter in space on the right-hand side. But Lauren James looking to get Chelsea second, but charged down well by Greenwood. Yeah, James has got to shift that into Carpenter. Chelsea take the throw quickly. Here is Chelsea's number 10, Lauren James. Bronze. Back to James, who puts the ball in there. Hasegawa can head it away, but it will be another Chelsea corner in this game. Chelsea have done well to really grow into this half. City put them under pressure for the majority of the first 20-25 minutes, but Chelsea are now really starting to work their way back into this game. Another corner for the Blues then. Sondy Baltimore over it. Not a bad ball in, but City deal with it well. And Blinkilda Brown looks to bring it forwards. Her pass, though, cut out by Thompson, who gives it back to Baltimore. Baltimore rolls it through the legs of Nat to Thompson. Thompson, though, safely going back. Carpenter will swing it into the area, headed away by Nat. Cuthbert looks to keep it alive. Greenwood, though, will reach it and allow Yamashita to smash it clear and get City up the pitch. Carpenter is being hounded here by Lauren Hemp. Can she deal with it smartly? Not really sure what she's trying to do here. Eddie Carpenter makes a bit of a mess of it. Has still managed to hold on to it, but Hemp's got a penned in. Uses bronze to get it out, but Hasegawa is there and waiting to receive. Hasegawa shifts it into Blinkilda Brown. Miedemar around the corner. One back, though, by Capdine, who's been dispossessed by Hemp. Lovely little roulette from Lauren Hemp into the path of Shaw now. And the flag has gone up on Khadija Shaw. Again tonight, Khadija Shaw caught in an offside position. Less than 20 minutes to play then. In both of the semi-finals. And as it stands, it is Chelsea and Manchester United who would be progressing to the League Cup final. Two sides that have already met once this season will play each other again in towards the end of the campaign and also meet in the FA Cup 5th round. As it stands, we'll be setting up a 4th meeting between the sides unless Arsenal or Manchester City can find a leveller. Hampton then to knock this indirect free kick long. Not a bad ball into the path of Lauren James, who's kept it alive, but apparently, according to the linesman, she hasn't. I'll trust him. He was half a yard away from it. Would have been a tight one, but City now with the throw on. Greenwood. Asking around for options here, Alex Greenwood. Goes into Khadija Shaw. Millie Bright, it's aggressive, assertive, but the referee says play on. Bright looks to find Thompson, but the pass is poor and City now look to play it around the corner. Not a good enough pass though from Miedemar, and Chelsea turn it over. Here is Sondy Baltimore on the left-hand side. Puts the ball in the area, cleared away by Greenwood. Can Chelsea keep it alive though? Cuthbert has a go, blocked by Rose. Thompson will recover the ball for Chelsea. Looks to find Germer. Shaw nearly picks it off, but Bright keeps it alive. Millie Bright looks to find James and does. Capdine now. Goes to Carpenter. Carpenter to Capdine. Cuthbert goes left to Germer. Baltimore on the ball now. Uses Nusken, who finds Germer. Now Millie Bright. Chelsea just enjoying a period of consistent possession. Germer now into Baltimore. Chelsea with space to use. Sondy Baltimore. Good drive at Kasperai. Cuts inside. Baltimore. Big save from Yamashita once again. Superb from Sondy Baltimore. A lovely drive inside. Wrong foot's Kirsten Kasperai. And unleashes a rocket with her right foot. But Yamashita once again with a massive hand to tip it over the bar. Struck with venom by Baltimore. But Yamashita keeping her side in this tie once again. Baltimore now then over the corner. Can Chelsea finally make one of these set pieces count? Ball in from the French wing back. It's on the money. It's headed away though by Khadija Shaw. Coombs looks to get rid of it. Thompson will keep it alive. Alyssa Thompson now back to Baltimore the taker. Lovely feet from Baltimore as she dances round two, but can't quite keep the ball in play and out for a City goal kick. Alex says Skinnerball is evolving, also backing for signings. It's exactly what he's asked for years. United have always managed to compete. Mark Skinner has always managed to compete with the lack of squad depth, with the lack of players he's had at his disposal, but a big window. A big window for United in January, and as you say, it seems to be paying dividends in that contest at the moment. And if he can make all those new signing works, then they could be a real force to be reckoned with in the second half of the season. When we're looking at the League Cup, when we're looking at on the European stage as well, United could be a real force to watch out for. But as you say, Skinner and United getting it right at the moment. and are only 15 minutes away from a League Cup final. Been a while since United were in a League Cup final. I mean, very long time compared to the other three clubs left in this competition. Obviously, Chelsea and City with last year's finalists. Arsenal won it a couple years back as well in Wolverhampton. But which two sides will be playing in the 2026 final at Ashton Gate in Bristol? City coming forwards looking for an equaliser that would keep them in the game, but that runs through to Hannah Hampton. Who will tease Khadija Shaw, make her run in and press her, and then pick it up. Here's Millie Bright. I have to say, Chelsea have really just... Chelsea are doing enough now to just control this game and dictate their way through to the final. City put them under all kinds of pressure for the first 25-30 minutes of this second half, but it's been a really good reaction from the Blues, and in the last 5 or so they've managed to just dictate a little bit more, have more of the ball, and look a lot more solid at the back, and that might just be enough to send Chelsea through to the League Cup final. Here is Shaw, flicks it onto Hasegawa, who puts it across the box, picks out Miedemar at the back post. Miedemar into Kasparai, who lets fly, and that's over the bar. Another chance for City, another chance for Kasparai, but it just will not go for the WSL leaders tonight. Hasegawa with another great ball into the box. Miedemar does well. She delays, holds it, waits for the run of Kasparai, who drills it hard but too high and floats and flies over the goal. Another chance for City, but it goes wayward. And Chelsea can now play out. And Nusken's done well here. Captain, can she get there? No. Hemp does want to get back in. Has not been Vika Captain's night. City coming forwards once again then. Hemp looks to run at Germer. Good from Lauren Hemp. Back heels it into the path of Kasparai, but Naomi Germer will see that out. Really good defending from Germer. Stands tall and wins a goal kick. But yeah, Vika Captain, despite getting that goal for Chelsea tonight, I think has struggled quite a bit. Kate Ryder joined the stream saying that one of the things that makes a brilliant midfielder play know exactly where the defence will be forced to play the ball when under attack. Captain seems to lack that knowledge and often late. Yeah, it's that reading of the game, isn't it? As a midfielder, you have to be 3 steps ahead of the play. And I think, I agree. I think Captain just, on her day, I think she's a very, very, obviously we know she's technically good. But yeah, I think the mental side of the game is definitely something that it will come with age. She's still a very, very young player, only 21. So it will definitely come as she develops. But I hopefully learning alongside Walsh, learning alongside Cuthbert will help to develop that side of her game. But the technical quality is absolutely there with Vika Captain. But yeah, I just think that the quality is missing a little bit. Thompson now for Chelsea runs out of road there and out for a goal kick. But yeah, we know Captain is a brilliant, brilliant player. I think tonight just the accuracy of pass has been missing. I have to say, Chelsea doing very well to just see this game through now. It feels like the last 5 minutes have flown by. Kasparai now has been caught on the ball by Nusken. Nusken, who drives forward and then is brought down by the Dutch fullback, and that will be a yellow card for Kirsten Kasparai. Made the error, looked to recover back and commits the foul. And again, I think this final feels like it's starting to slip away from Manchester. This semi-final feels like it's starting to slip away from Manchester City. They huffed and puffed and caused Chelsea problems, but just could not take their chances. And with 10 minutes to play, Chelsea are doing just enough to stay in front. Kasparai is absolutely blown, by the way. No wonder she felt the need to bring Shoka Nusken down there. And Chelsea now with a free kick and a chance to put themselves 2 ahead. Not before we see a change for the Blues. And this is going to be Guro Wrighton introduced into the fray. And to replace Shoka Nusken. So that will see Captain drop deeper into the pivot with Cuthbert. And Guro Wrighton will come on and play in the 10, presumably. We'll see what happens, though, once this free kick has been taken and everyone retakes their positions. So it will be Aaron Cuthbert then from the left-hand side to whip the ball in for Chelsea. A goal now would surely seal it for the Blues. Cuthbert to deliver it. Not a bad ball towards Bright, who keeps it alive. Dealt with, though, by Knack, and Hasegawa can put a foot through and get it gone and allow City to get up the pitch. Hampton, though, was going to send it straight back from where it came from. Baltimore brings it down with quality. Here is Guro Reiten. Good turn from Reiten. Looks to find James. Hooked away, though, by Knack. And that will go out for a Chelsea throw. Still, only one goal in the other semi-final. 10-player Arsenal trailing by 1-0 against Manchester United. Baltimore now with the throw. Gives it to Thompson. Back to Sondy Baltimore. Baltimore drills it hard and low across the box, but there's no one there for Chelsea. Carpenter will bust a gut to keep it alive and does very well to get there, but is forced out by Greenwood, and that will go out for a goal kick. But as it stands, the 60% of people who have voted Chelsea in the polling chat will be correct. But all it takes is one moment, one opportunity for Manchester City. And if they can take it, they can level this game up and send us to extra time. Just a reminder, if it is level after 90 minutes, the tie is decided tonight. No, it's not 2 legs. We will get a victor come the end of the evening. If City can find a way to level the game, then it'll be an extra 30 minutes. And if we need them, penalty kicks. Ball long, though, by Bright. Looking for James. Picked off by Knack. Blinkilder-Brown now on the ball. Millie Bright jumps forward and wins it nicely. And Guro Reiten can turn for Chelsea, though she has travellaed that very far behind Baltimore, who has done extremely well to keep that ball in play. Baltimore back into Reiten now. Guro Reiten for Chelsea. Shifts it to Baltimore. The Blues taking the sting out of this game now. Not planning to move the ball very quickly, understandably so. Baltimore still on the ball now. Manages to find Thompson. Reiten round the corner into Captain, who does well to keep hold of it. Here is Alyssa Thompson. Thompson, Nusken feeds it through to Lauren James, who is in an offside position, and the flag will go up on the near side. This is big for Chelsea. If they can see this out, this will be a huge win. And with that London derby coming up against Arsenal on Saturday, would be a very good momentum shifter and give them the advantage, especially if Arsenal are to be knocked out by Manchester United tonight. Although Germer, the ball's gone long here, and Germer's got that one slightly wrong, although it will run out. Still be a City corner, and Chelsea are going to have something to defend here as we close in on the final 5 minutes. Of course, Manchester City are back in action against London City on Sunday, where you'd like to think they would probably win that pretty convincingly, but that will not be their main focus at the moment. They will be focused on trying to find a leveller in these final few moments. Corner to Manchester City then. Greenwood over the ball on the far side. Good ball in, headed over by Viviana Miedema. Another chance for City, another wayward effort. And that is now 10 shots in this second half. 16 shots for City, only 4 on target. 3 big chances, and they've missed the lot of them. Not good enough for City in front of goal. Only a quarter of their shots they've put on target, and they've missed 3 out of 3 big chances. That is not good enough against sides like Chelsea. Chelsea, 13 shots, 3 on target, so that's wasteful. But the difference is Chelsea had 1 big chance and they scored it. Football is decided on who puts the ball in the back of the net. Man City did not take their chances in that first half. Chelsea did, and that is the difference between the two sides at the moment. Long ball though from City. Shaw can't win it. Guro Reiten flicks it forwards. Rose will beat Lauren James to it. Here is Blinkilder now. Greenwood into Hemp. Hemp with a lovely turn. Finds Laura Coombs. Bronzo stands up well but is dispossessed. Coombs back to Hemp. Still going Lauren Hemp. Big tackle from Cuthbert. Falls though for Coombs. Hasegawa now on the left-hand side. Good feet. Crosses it. Blocked by Carpenter. And it cannons back off Yui Hasegawa and runs out for a Chelsea goal kick. Another chance for City wasted. And now Jeglertz turning to his bench once again. And this is going to see the introduction of Iman Bene. And she is going to come on and replace, I think it's Kirsten Kasperite. It is. Kasperite was struggling on that right-hand side. Really, you can tell she's really fatigued and tired. A very good shift from her. But Bene is going to come on and do a job. He looks on that right-hand side for Man City. But they've gone for it. Bene obviously can play right back, but they've pushed her up to right wing, and Rose has gone to right centre half, and they're playing a real back three in both ways. Rosa is dispossessed by Thompson, who cuts it across looking for James, but it's overhit by the American winger. And Lauren James can't quite get on the end of it. Really good drive from Thompson. Rose with the error, but Chelsea cannot capitalise. That would have wrapped the game up there and then. But yeah, City going for it now. They've gone to a back three with and without the ball. They've pushed Bele on as a right wing back. Well, it's a right winger, really. Sending bodies forward. They've got nothing to lose now. Two minutes to play plus additional time here. And that will be the last contribution for Alyssa Thompson. She will make way for Johanna Reitin-Kaneryd, who last time out in this competition netted a lovely hat-trick against Liverpool in Chelsea's 9-1 demolition of the Reds. And she's come on here to see this result through for the Blues. Ball from Yamashita goes direct into Shaw, and Shaw can release Bene. Is there a late twist in this semi-final? Bene into Hemp, who lets fly. It's hit well by Lauren Hemp, and another big save from Hannah Hampton, diving down to her right-hand side and tips it round the post for a City corner. Really good directness from Manchester City. Hemp with a good curling effort, but Hampton equal to it. Another corner for Manchester City. Can they find a late leveller in this game? Hasegawa over the corner. City bodies piling in at the far post. Hasegawa puts the ball in. It's hit well. Chelsea get rid of it. Shaw is going to look to keep it alive on the far side. Up against Cuthbert, who does really well to get in front of it. And that will be a City throw. But the hosts are putting Chelsea under pressure here in these final few moments. City throw then. Iman Bene over it. Has Shaw as an option. Coombs in as a presence as well. Looks to go to Shaw, who just heads it up in the air. Germer clears it, not convincingly. But Kaneryd will bring it down and look to run, and City do well to get bodies back and turn it over. But Kaneryd doesn't give up and keeps hold of it. Goes back to Baltimore. Lovely little dummy to beat Bene. Looking to find Kaneryd, but Hasegawa picks it off. But Cuthbert picks off her pass. Brilliant stuff from both these sides. Neither side can keep hold of the ball. Great tackle from Coombs to dispossess Cuthbert. Into the 90 minutes now. Lauren Hemp ball in behind looking for Miedemar. Hannah Hampton's quick off her line and will beat the Dutch forward to it. 4 minutes to play here at the Joey Stadium. Manchester City throwing the kitchen sink at this one. Chelsea 4 minutes away from the League Cup final. Ball long from Hampton. Kaneryd wins it. Capdine looking to go direct into James, who's trying to get round Rose here. Well defended by the City centre-half, but that is out for a Chelsea throw. And that is exactly where the Blues want the ball. In, up the City end, in the corner, and they can take the sting out of this one. Also, into additional time in North London. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. in the other semi-final. Both Chelsea and United holding on to 1-goal margins at the moment. Throw from Carpenter goes into Lauren James, who clears it into Knack, and that is out for a Chelsea corner. And this is perfect for Chelsea, who can go short with it and just hold it in the confines of this corner. And I'm not really sure what Chelsea are doing here. They were going to wait for Baltimore to come over and take it, but very smartly they take it themselves and kick it into Hasegawa for another corner. Chelsea really running down the clock here. Alex is saying there was a pen not given to Arsenal for Janssen handball. Well, lots of controversy in that semi-final. Olivia Smith already dismissed for 2 yellow cards, and now no penalty for Arsenal. I have to watch that one back. I'm not going to say anything until I've seen it. But I'm sure Arsenal fans will feel a little bit aggrieved by that result then, if that is the case. 2 minutes to play here. Ball long from Yamashita from the goal kick. Baltimore intercepts. Coombs, though, gets there next, and Miedemar's away for City. Miedemar against Germer. Ball across the box, looking for Hemp, and it's wide. Just wide for Manchester City. Miedemar fizzes it across the box. Lauren Hemp, all she had to do was flick it in the back of the net, and she couldn't quite make contact with it. Really good ball from Miedemar, and Hemp was inches away from levelling the score. What a chance for City. And it just doesn't feel like it's going to be their day. Too many chances missed by City in front of goal. They've let Chelsea off the hook at times in this game. And that is another late chance for City to level this game. Minute to go. This has got to go long from Yamashita. And it does. Fired up the pitch, but it's cut out by Capdine. Ball bounces around. Blinkilder looks to release Shaw. Headed away by Millie Bright. Bronze now picks up the scraps. Has a bit of a contest with Hemp. And there's a bit of a confrontation about whose throw that will be. But it will be City's throw. Greenwood now with the throw-in. Uses Coombs. Flicks it around the corner looking for Hemp. Cut out by Lucy Bronze. Big challenge from Lucy Bronze. Wrighton flicks it on. Blinkilder Brown picks it up. Really good drive from Blinkilder Brown. Cut out by Capdine. Falls to Beth Mead. Final seconds here. Long ball looking for Shaw. Chests it down to Bene. Big tackle from Cuthbert. And Bright will smash this clear for Chelsea. Surely that is it. Yamashita on the ball will look to send this forwards one final time. Headed up by Cuthbert. Capdine wins the second ball. Blinkilder Brown gets there next. Carnery jostling with Lauren Hemp. Still we play. At the Joey, and that is the final whistle. In the repeat of last year's final, in this year's semi-final, Chelsea do enough to make it 7 League Cup finals in a row for the Blues. It will be another trip to the Subway Women's League Cup final for Chelsea. A performance that they had to dig deep, and Capdine's header the only goal in the game, and that is enough to see Chelsea through to the League Cup final, where they will take on either Arsenal or Manchester United. That game is still going on, but Chelsea confirmed into the League Cup final. Capdine's goal, the difference maker. It doesn't tell the whole story though. City, many missed chances, missed 2 open goals in the first half. Kasparai rattling the post in the second, but Chelsea have that mentality, and champions find a way. City will feel like they should have won this football match. 2 poor in front of goal Manchester City tonight. Chelsea punish it. They were clinical. They took their only big chance of the game, and Chelsea do enough on the night. Victory for the Blues, and now they sit and wait to see who they will face in the second semi-final. Still ongoing at Arsenal Manchester United. United leading by a 1-0. Arsenal down to 10 players after Olivia Smith was sent off. And a potential late penalty not given for the Gunners after a Janssen handball. We'll have to see that back. But will United hold on there? Will United see it through to set up another meeting against Chelsea. They're already meeting in the FA Cup. Will they butt heads once again in the League Cup final? Another really good performance from Chelsea. Bon Pastor will be very, very happy. City miss out on a chance to reach their first final under Andre Jeglertz. And I think they'll be frustrated. Too many missed opportunities by City. Should have taken advantage when they were on top in this game. Khadija Shaw missing an open goal. Viviana Miedemar hitting the post from an open goal. And again, many, many more missed chances for City. Those stats in the end for Manchester City, 19 shots, only 5 on target, 3 big chances, missed them all. Chelsea, 1 big chance and scored it. That is football. Is a funny, funny game sometimes. Chelsea did well, it ebbed and flowed, but the difference was when City were on top, they didn't take their chances, and when Chelsea were on top, they punished, got the goal, and saw the fixture out from there on in. Still in the dying moments between Arsenal and Manchester United, but that looks set for United to make it to the League Cup final. Arsenal, a trophy they've won many times, but they're going to fall for the second year running at the semi-final stage, bar some late heroics there. Manchester United and Skinnable with the new signings in action. Ellen Vangerheim picking up an assist on her Manchester United debut might be enough to see them through to the League Cup final. But wow. Yeah, City, you can tell they feel frustrated. They've enjoyed a very, very good season. They're playing some incredible football. And they all feel like they should be in the League Cup final. But it's Chelsea who progress. And it is all over between Arsenal and Manchester United. United are through to the League Cup final. And they set up a showdown against Chelsea, the holders of the competition. In March, they will meet. Once that will be their 4th meeting of the season. When they meet in that final in March. What a game that will be. Chelsea taking on Manchester United. But it's the 2 away teams that advance into the final. United, again, doing what they had to do against an Arsenal side. Clinicality will be the big question. Arsenal tonight, by the way, 21 shots, 3 on target. That is not good enough from the Gunners. But United will not care. City and Arsenal punished for not taking their chances. And Chelsea and United see them through. But that is all for this evening. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in and joined me. A brilliant semi-final. A good set of semi-finals with United and Chelsea advancing. Arsenal and City fans will be rightfully frustrated because their sides didn't know where their goal was tonight. Didn't seem like it. City lack clinicality. I mean, Arsenal, to only put 3 shots on target out of 21 is not good enough this level of football. But yes, 2 very, very good semi-finals. Chelsea and Manchester United advance. As for what is coming up this week, on Friday, Jack will have a preview out for Chelsea versus Arsenal, the massive headliner game on Saturday. We won't be live for it, unfortunately, because we will be at the game. If you are at Stamford Bridge and you do spot us on Saturday, come and say hello. We don't bite, we're nice people. We'll be back on Sunday, though, or Jack will be back on Sunday, for Aston Villa versus Manchester United, the 11:55 kickoff in the WSL. City will also be in action at that time against London City Lionesses. So, only one stream this weekend of WSL action. We'll be back on Monday as well to round up all the content, all the games from the weekend, so make sure to tune in for that. But make sure to join Jack on Sunday. As I said, big preview as well coming out for the blockbuster clash between Chelsea and Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. But thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Massively appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you're new around here. And just keep supporting us. We've seen a lot of new members joining recently, a lot of donations as well. It means a lot. Keep them rolling in. It massively helps us to keep doing what we are doing with the channel. But keep supporting us. Make sure to keep tuning in over the weekend. Only one stream, but still should be a good game between Villa and Manchester United. That is all up from me today. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.